Hello class 10th. Hope you all are good. Now children, today we will continue the same chapter, that is your nervous system, and in this chapter we will discuss about the different parts of nervous system and structure of brain, its different parts and their function. Okay, let's discuss first the different parts of nervous system. Our nervous system is divided into two major divisions. First is called central nervous system and second is called peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord, while peripheral nervous system again divide into two parts, that is your actually this part of nervous system, it connects various body parts with the CNS and it divide into two main subdivisions, that is your somatic nervous system, which control voluntary parts of PNS, and autonomic nervous system, it involves involuntary part of nervous system. Now central nervous system again consists of two parts, that is your brain and spinal cord. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord. Now brain, the weight of the brain is approximately 1350 gram. What is the weight of our human brain? 1350 gram, and it is made up of 1000 billion neurons, right? And the brain is placed in a well protected cranial cavity or brain box, actually that brain box or cavity, actually it is a cavity of skull. Our brain is protected by skull, right? And it is surrounded by three protective membranes, and collectively these membranes are called meninges. Now the inner membrane is called pia mater, which is the innermost. Second is your arachnoid, it is a middle layer. Third and outermost layer is called dura mater. In between these three membranes, a space is present. Actually, in between these membranes, a space is present. That space is filled with a fluid, and that fluid is called cerebrospinal fluid, or it is also known as CSF. So don't confuse. CSF is your cerebrospinal fluid. Same fluid is present where in the same fluid is protect the spinal cord also. Right, now what are the functions of CSF or this cerebrospinal fluid? It serves as a shock absorbing medium. As you have read in the chapter of circulatory system, our heart is protected by double membrane, that is called pericardium, and the space between these two membrane fluid is present, that is called pericardial fluid, which protect the heart from shocks and jerks. The same way CSF serves as a shock and absorbing medium. It protects the brain and the rest of the CNS against jerks and jolts. Second, it also maintains constant pressure in and around the brain. Human brain is divided into three main regions: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Let's discuss first forebrain. Forebrain is divided into again three parts. That is your forebrain consists of olfactory lobes, cerebrum and diencephalon. Olfactory lobes, they are concerned with the sense of smell, right? Second part is your cerebrum. It is the largest part of the brain and it forms 4/5 of the weight of the total weight of the brain. Each consists of right and left lobes, what they are called cerebral hemisphere. Actually, their surface is highly folded or convoluted with ridges and grooves. What are ridges and grooves? I think all of you have seen the tire, right? So these are called ridges, and these are called grooves. So you have seen in a brain there is the surface of the brain is highly folded or convoluted with ridges and grooves. Why? To increase the surface area. Each cerebral hemisphere has two regions. Outer region is called cortex and inner one is called medulla. right? Don't confuse with kidney. In kidney also there is outer part is called what? Cortex, and inner part is called medulla. Here is also the cerebral hemisphere. Outer part is called cortex and inner part is called medulla. The outer portion of cerebrum contains a gray matter or gray colored cell bodies, and hence they are called gray matter. Now the inner portion consists of axons of neuron. Now try to understand. The outer portion of cerebrum, it contains gray colored cell bodies, and hence it is called gray matter. Simply you will learn that the outer portion of cerebrum consists of gray matter and inner portion consists of what? White matter. But actually what is gray matter? Actually the outer portion of cerebrum contains what? These cell bodies of neuron. The outer gray matter means what is it? Cell bodies of neuron, right? While white matter is your axon part of neuron, consists of your white matters. Means your inner portion of cerebrum consists of axons of neuron which is white in color, hence it is called what? White matter. Understood? Just underline these lines in your book. So remember that cell bodies of neuron are present in cerebrum outside, and axon part present inside the inner part of the cerebrum. Okay, cell body with dendrites, they constitute gray matter, while axon constitute what? White matter. Okay, I just told you that cerebrum is divided into two parts, right and left lobes, and these are called cerebral hemisphere. The two cerebral hemispheres are held together by a transverse band of nerve fibers, and it is called what? Corpus callosum. So what is corpus callosum? Corpus callosum is a transverse band of nerve fibers which held what? Two cerebral hemispheres together, right? Now each cerebral hemisphere is divided into four lobes, that is your frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe and temporal lobe. And just remember that left cerebral hemisphere, it controls right part of the body, and right hemisphere, it controls left part of the body. Next is your functions of cerebrum, and learn these functions by heart. Okay, so what are the main function of cerebrum? It is a seat of memory, willpower, emotions, experiences, intelligence, reasoning, learning, invention and planning. They all are controlled by cerebrum part of the brain. Okay, now second is it controls your all voluntary actions, and it perceives the sensory impulses such as pain, touch, taste, smell, hearing and sight. Means all your sense organs are controlled by what? By cerebrum. And subconscious mind or unconscious mind is also located in cerebrum. I think all of you have heard about the subconscious mind. Whatever you see, all of you see the dreams at night. सपने देखते हो ना रात को, तो वो सब क्या होते हैं? They are what experiences. Actually, what we see in our dream, that is our what old experiences, right? तो जो भी हम सपने में देखते हैं वो सब क्या है? हमारे पुराने एक्सपीरियंसेस होते हैं जो कि हमारे सबकॉन्शियस माइंड में स्टोर होते हैं, राइट? और वही हमें दिखाई देते हैं रात को सोते हुए as a dream. So this subconscious mind or unconscious mind is also located where? In cerebrum. Now next is your diencephalon. The second part. It lies between cerebrum and midbrain, and it is divided into two parts, that is your thalamus and hypothalamus. Now what is the function of hypothalamus? Hypothalamus controls body temperature, control of pituitary gland. Okay, I'll just explain this about this pituitary gland in the next chapter, that is your endocrine system. Okay, and blood pressure. तो So what is the function of hypothalamus? Controls body temperature and blood pressure and control pituitary gland. Thalamus part of diencephalon can act as a relay center for pain and pressure impulses to cerebrum. Actually, this thalamus part, it help in transferring the impulses of pain and pressure to the cerebrum. Next is your midbrain. Only simply you just learn the function of midbrain. Actually, this midbrain connects your cerebellum and pons of hindbrain, and it connects the hindbrain with the forebrain and conveys impulses, right, and controls the sight and auditory impulses, means your hearing and to see. These impulses are also controlled by this midbrain. Next is your hindbrain. Hindbrain is again differentiated into three main parts. That is your pons variouli, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. Pons variouli function is it carries impulses from medulla oblongata. It is located or situated below cerebellum. Okay, and it carries impulses from medulla oblongata to forebrain, and it also carries impulses from one hemisphere of cerebellum to other and coordinates muscular movement on both the sides. Actually, cerebellum is divided into it could divide into two equal halves, and these two equal halves are called bellar hemisphere. Okay, now next is your cerebellum. It is the largest part of hindbrain. Which brain? Hindbrain. It is present below the cerebrum and above the medulla oblongata, behind the pons. And it consists of two large lateral lobes, and what they are called? Cerebellar. They are called cerebellar hemispheres, right? And again, it's inner core of it is also consists of white matter and gray matter. White matter is in inner side, and gray matter is outer side, right? It has no convolutions, means no grooves and ridges. Now, what are the functions of cerebellum? It helps to maintain the balance or equilibrium during movement. Whenever we are moving, when we are walking, that time our body is controlled by cerebellum. Okay, and second, it controls and coordinates muscular activity. Means when all of you know our muscular activities are controlled and coordinated by cerebellum. Next is your medulla oblongata. And it is almost triangular in shape and hollow from inside. And main function of medulla oblongata is, it controls the involuntary activities. Involuntary means which are not under our control. Of involuntary activities of internal organs like beating of heart, because all of you know heartbeat is not under our control. Heartbeat is controlled by medulla oblongata. Movement of breathing, your respiratory system is also controlled by your medulla oblongata. Sneezing, swallowing, vomiting, coughing, hiccuping, these are and peristaltic movement of alimentary canal. What is peristaltic movement? Means when you swallow the food, it itself move down, right? Due to its peristaltic movement. Now you cannot hold. मतलब तुमने एक बार खाया, उसके बाद निगला, तो क्या बीच में उसको रोक सकते हो कि नहीं वो नीचे ना जाए? नहीं ना. तो that is actually it is involuntary activity, right? And it is controlled by medulla oblongata. So I think all of you know, once a person is hanged, why he immediately die? Because actually when a person is hanged by a rope, it causes injury to medulla oblongata, and once medulla oblongata is injured, then what's happened?
it will, what is affected? Your heartbeat and breathing is affected. And if heartbeat stops and breathing stops, then person will immediately die. That is why person, when he is hanged with rope, then what's happened? He or she immediately die. Okay, now next is your. Now one question may come, when a person is under a liquor, or when an alcoholic person, when drunk, is not able to stand and walk erect. Why? Because alcohol affect what? Which part of the brain? Cerebellum part of the brain. And cerebellum control what? Control your balance or equilibrium. It maintain the balance and equilibrium during movement. That is why person is not able to stand or walk erect. Right?